remembered as soon as I started doing some work today, I need to do an order of some new materials, because if you didn't see my last video, not the last one, but one of the last videos, oh, I've lost a pencil there, it's too small. Oh no, it's there. Some of my pencils are getting a bit small. I like the Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils. I'm not sponsored, but that's the pencil that I prefer at the moment. And I'm going to do a little inventory of what I've got, because I did buy a bunch of the dark indigo, which is my favourite colour, but I've been getting through them. So I'm going to just quickly do that, and then we'll head on to Jackson's and get them. Also, you saw me doing these before. I sometimes find that before I do a drawing, so I wanted to try and do some more of those cat things, maybe the cat sketches from yesterday, but maybe not, I don't know. But sometimes I find that just starting something on a page, whether it's just blocking it out in colour or whatever, this is drawing a bit crazy, it sometimes helps. Even if I don't do anything on these, I can use them as collage papers, so I can put them in a pile and use them as collage for later on. But first, let's have a look, see which one of my favourite colours I've got. This may look excessive. You may think, why does she need to order new colours? Because she's got bloody hundreds of them there. The thing is, well, my sister's an illustrator, and she was having a clear out of her studio and her materials, and a lot of these came from her. And I'm kind of dabbling with them. Some of them aren't my favourite colours, some of them are really nice colours, but I want to have a reorder of the colours that I definitely use. So for example, I got a bunch of the dark indigos, so how many of these did I have left? So I got 5 last time, and I've got 2 left. So I might get a couple more dark indigos, and then I'm going to see what I've got in my pencil roll and order some more of those. Also, I noticed this morning when I was getting my pens that I'm low in my dark indigo, just indigo Ecoline, and I really like that. And I don't think I've got another one. I've got another vermilion, which is another one of my favourites. My sister gave me another one of those, so I've got 2 of those, but I've only got one of these. I don't think Jackson's sell these, so I'll have to have a little look around. But I'll have a look. I'm going to put you up on here, and we'll order them together. So I've just done a quick price check on the Polychromos, because there are a couple of other websites that I use other than Jackson's. Jackson's selling them at the moment for £1.80. They RRP at £2.20. Cass Art are selling them for £1.95, and there's a website called Cult Pens which is also selling them for £1.80. I think the postage is cheaper on Jackson's, but I will double check and let you know. Okay, so on Jackson's, you've got to spend a little bit more to get free delivery. So their standard delivery is free over £45, and Cult Pens is free over £30. Let's see how much money that I end up spending in my little basket, because I do prefer Jackson's because they package plastic free, and anyone who knows me will know that I am doing my best to try and cut out the plastic, single-use plastic in my business and in my life. So I will prefer Jackson's. It's not that much. I mean, it's £15 more to get free delivery, but they do package plastic free, and it's really helpful when they do that. And I'm not sure what their individual order is, so let's have a look. Cult Pens do free delivery over £30 and £3 for small orders. Jackson's Art do 50p for over £30, £3 for under £30, and then free delivery for over £45. So it's a little tiny bit more in delivery charges. But as a small business, I know delivery is never free. Like, you can put on your website free delivery to help get more customers excited about it, but it's never free. You always end up putting the price up somewhere else. So because they put a lot more effort into their plastic-free packaging, which does cost a bit more money, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to go with Jackson's because it's 6 of one, half a dozen the other, and I'd rather vote with my feet for the kind of packaging that I want to get. Let's hope they do the Ecoline paints now. Okay, so I've done my order. I got most of my things on Jackson's. So I got my A4 pad of paper, which is the smaller pad of this one, which is the paper I traditionally used, and I couldn't find it anywhere, so I'm getting some of that. In A4, I got my pencils from Jackson's, but I couldn't find the Ecoline watercolour on Jackson's, so I got that from Cult Pens, and that was like £4. And I got an A5 pad of this stuff here, which is Dale Rowney fine grain heavyweight pad, and that was cheaper on Cult Pens, so I got that there. And then when my order came up on Cult Pens, I got this, a 10% off to give to you if you want. Obviously I didn't plan this is just something that popped up, so I'll pop the link to this in the video description if I can. So if you want to get something, you get 10% off, and then I'll get 10% off my next order. Excellent. So I have to go out to collect a prescription from a pharmacy. Glamour. So I thought I might as well take my materials that remain and then go do a little drawing in the cafe if they have any space. So let's go. I'm back home. It was super hot in the cafe, but I took my fan. That's one tip. You can get these little USB fans. I've also got a battery pack which I charge with a solar panel, just a little fold out camping one, nothing too expensive, but yeah, and you can take a fan with you wherever you go in the summer. I like sketching in cafes, I've said this before, but if you've got like a project to do, so I'm working on a personal project of my next self-published book, and it just means there's no distractions. You're less likely to go off and put the washing on if you're in a cafe. But now I'm home, I'm going to carry on with that project here on the sofa because it's still too hot upstairs. But before I do, I've had a question from one of my patrons, Isabel. They asked quite a few questions actually, so I'm just going to answer one now, and I'll do the others in a future video, like when I'm next in the Sheffield Maker Shop. It's a perfect time to answer questions. So the first one, when you make digital art to put on products, what settings do you recommend? I always worry that they'll be printed all blurry. It's a really good question. So I tend to do it as good a resolution as I can, because you can always reduce the resolution. You can always shrink a high resolution image, but if you do a small low resolution image, like a JPEG, then you can't make it bigger. Okay, so first of all, I'd check, so if you're doing like a print on demand, if you're going to make a T-mail t-shirt, for example, check to see what files they accept. They might just accept PNGs or PDFs or TIFFs. But what I'd recommend is saving all your art at 300 dpi as a TIFF, because TIFFs are a high quality image. They take up more storage, TIFFs take up more storage, but you can always resave a TIFF file as a PNG, which is a slightly lower resolution, or a PDF, which is a document like an Adobe document PDF. But you can't always, like I said before, you can't up the quality, but you can always reduce the quality from a high quality image. So I'd save 300 dpi at least, which is, it means dots per inch. So the higher the dpi, the bigger you can make it, basically. The bigger you can go. So yeah, 300 dpi at least as a TIFF file, because you can always save it smaller, on a smaller resolution. I'd stay away from JPEGs. JPEGs are a great resolution for sharing on social media, but the quality is really low, so not good for products, not good for printing your art and stuff like that. So yeah, what else? Also, you want to be saving your work in the colour profile of a CMYK if you're going to be printing it, because that's the printing format that printers use to print your colours. So you'll get an accurate recreation of your colours on a physical product if you have a document that is saved in CMYK as opposed to RGB. RGB are great if you are, RGB are digital. It's what digital things use to recreate your images. So if you just want to share it on social media, you can save it as an RGB file, which is red, green, blue file. But if you're going to be printing it, if you're going to be printing it and you've saved it as an RGB file, the colours won't translate exactly, so you might not get an accurate colour representation. So if you're going to be printing it physically, print it as a CMYK. Let me show you quickly on Procreate how you can set up your documents. Okay, so I'll show you in Procreate, but this is only one, program for making art and things. But all programs will have a similar way of setting up your files to start with. So on Procreate, you go to the little plus, and if you want to set one up on your own, you press that little plus again. So you can set up the dimensions. So if I'm going to be doing A4, I'll be doing it 21 centimeters by 29.5, I think. Your DPI is 300, that's fantastic. Then you go to your colour profile here, and because I want to be printing it, I'll just keep it on CMYK. If it was going to be for computer use only, like on your website or whatever, RGB is fine, but CMYK, and then create. And it looks like about A4 size. Again, to make sure you've got the option to make it as big as you want, when you're setting the dimensions, set it for as big as you're likely to ever want it. So if you think you might want to print something in A3 or A2 size, when you're setting up the dimensions here, find out what the width and what the height of your biggest possible size that you'd ever gonna want to make it into, and put those dimensions in there. Because like I said before, you can always make a big thing small, but you can't always make a small thing big. I hope that made sense. If you need any more clarification, let me know in the comments or whatnot, and I'll see if I can answer your question any better than I have there. But I'm going to get on and do another hour in this project, because it's nice to feel like I've actually done something with my time. Oh, bit of an update. In the time it's taken me to go out to the pharmacy and have a coffee, Jacksons have already dispatched my order. Woohoo! As I mentioned in the other video, this isn't something that I want to keep banging on about, but I do have a discount code for new users of Jacksons, because I am an affiliate, and I became an affiliate personally. They don't pay me anything to do, well, I get 5% back on every order, but you know, I'm not paid to sponsor Jacksons, if that makes sense. I signed up to their affiliate scheme because I like using them, because they've made such strides with their environmental policy and their plastic-free packaging. So I signed up to those, but because of that, I've got an affiliate link. And if you go down into my video description, if you wanted to check out Jacksons as well, they've given me they will give you 10% off your first order if you click through my link. And even if you've used Jackson's before and you won't get a discount or anything, if you've got an order coming up, if you click through my link, I do get a small percentage back for the referral. So if you've, no obligation, but you know, if you've got an order coming up and you were going to be going with Jackson's anyway, or you hadn't decided who you were going to get them with, click through the link. Sorry, my hair's all over the place. Click through the link in my video description and check them out. Obviously no obligation to buy, but if you did, it would cost you nothing additional to click through the link, and that would help me buy new art supplies in the future. So cheers, pals. But I'm going to leave this video here. I hope you didn't think that was a bit of a hard sell. Obviously no obligation to do any of these things. I'm not bothered, but it would be nice if you... Ooh, pardon me, that was my coaster falling. It'd be nice if you were considering checking them out, clicking the link, and then I'll get something back as well, but no obligation. But I'm going to leave this video here and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!